Hey Nymfam, welcome back to my last team selection video of the season. We finally made it to the end. We're halfway through our last double game week and my second free hit. Yes, it is active. About time, you guys say. If you're loving the content, then please do drop a like. Let's try hit 60 likes on this video. That would be absolutely amazing. Your guys' support this season has been fabulous. Do pop me a comment below. How are you getting on in game week 37 and how are you looking ahead of game week 38? And lastly, if you're new to the channel, then please do subscribe. Okay, let's get after this. First off, let's start with how my free hit team is doing, and unlike last week, Pickford is yet to be the hero I need, although he did manage to make 4 saves to at least get 1 extra point and make his 3 goals conceded hurt a little less for 2 points. My defence is horrible. I really wasn't sure about doubling up on Everton and Villa in defence. Yeah, I was correct on that one, but I did think if I was going to utilise the doubles, I better try and go for it. Thankfully, Digne got an assist for 6 points, but that's where all the good news ended, with Digne, unfortunately, Cash and Myelenko conceding lots and not registering anything in any attacking returns. Fingers crossed for next time, lads. I need you to pull up your socks and do better. In midfield, it's been much the same. Zaha's trolled the FPL community once again with just 2 points. I decided to keep Son and get KDB as my single game week midfielders this week. Unfortunately, neither could replicate what they did last game week. Going for another doubler here was likely the play, but I just couldn't see past Kevin and Son after last game week. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Maddison, however, now he was a welcome addition to my free hit. A goal and 2 assists for 15 points. He has pretty much carried my midfield and I am grateful for it. I am definitely here for Maddison. Up front, it's all change again. Kane came in for Nketiah. I got a penalty out of it, but it was just fear with Kane, to be honest. That's pretty much the only reason why I went for him. I'll take the 7 points, but again, I should have gone for it here with the doubler, else I probably should have just stuck with Nketiah. Ings came in for the injured Watkins. Of course, Ings blanked and Watkins played and scored. Hopefully Ingsy can make up for it for me in the second game. That's going to be needed because there was an awful lot of people that kept Watkins, and I probably should have done so as well. Richarlison came in for Jesus. Jesus did actually start on Sunday, believe it or not, absolutely trolling me, but thankfully he didn't do anything. Richarlison, however, got a goal and maybe should have had 2. A little bit of controversy there, but it was given as an assist in the end for 24 points as my captain with Baps. Very much needed. Here's hoping he can keep his cool for the second fixture because we all know Richarlison is a little hot-headed, and hopefully he looks after me because I desperately need him too. I flip-flopped on whether to get Vardy for Kane or Ings on my free hit. Vardy was in my team for Ings at 10-15 and I switched him out because I seen lots of people suddenly captaining Ings out of nowhere and I felt, oh, I better at least own him just in case. It doesn't feel like I can just get a grab on these big haulers at the moment when I have the chance to. Now that might seem a weird thing to say with having Richarlison and Maddison in my team. Very grateful to have both of those, but when I was sat with Vardy also in my team and it could have made that extra bit of difference, just can't seem to get that extra little bit that I need for that kind of big jump, if that makes sense. A lot of people did have Maddison, a lot of people did have Richarlison, so missing out on Vardy is a little bit frustrating. Other than that, I can't claim to have thought about anyone else that did well this week. I hadn't really even planned to free hit, as you guys know. The plan was to try and get through to game week 38 and do it, but when I hit the button, I thought I had injuries to Laporte, Kulusevski, Watkins and Salah, and also had Alonso and Robertson, who went a long way in the cup. So I just thought it was time to pull it out of the bag. All of that means I'm on 66 points with a very nice green arrow to 33,071. So it's going okay so far, but I have absolutely no one tonight or tomorrow evening, so I am not counting my chickens here. There's absolutely a long way to go yet with lots of players to dodge. There's Nketiahs to dodge, Saka's to dodge, Robertsons and Trents and Salahs if he plays. So it's not going to be fun watching Arsenal, who I desperately want to win tonight, and Liverpool without any players involved whatsoever. But fingers crossed that my team can hold up. I'm going to need it. With that, let's have a look at how I'm currently lining up for the final game week of the season. And this is how my bus team looks currently. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I don't love it. That's why I was trying to save my free hit for the final week. But here we are. It's very tough to tell you what I'm going to do here for a couple of reasons. And they are that I'm in a very, very competitive mini league, and the person I'm head to head with has a free hit left. So I need to be aware of that. But also on the last day, I always tend to do my transfers on the final day with whomever I'm feeling at the time and with whatever news that I have. So I honestly don't know what I'm definitely going to do yet with this team. That said, I'm not going to leave you guys in the lurch. I'm not just here for nothing. I can tell you who I'm looking at least. I'm going to find it difficult to fit in Kane and or KDB, what with having the max number of players from them clubs already, but it can be done with hits. Though there are lots of teams I'm looking at instead, or to help facilitate Kane or KDB. Chelsea facing Watford, who have just let in 5 goals against Leicester, is definitely high up my list. Potentially looking at Mount or Havertz if he's playing there could be a good shout. Leicester, who are at home to a struggling Southampton. Vardy, of course, very much in my thoughts, as is Maddison, who's done brilliant for me on my free hit. And Brentford against Leeds, who love to play wide open, of course, and obviously Brentford bringing it to Everton last night and looking pretty good for the last game week of the season. My players I'm looking to move on, of course, are Jesus, Watkins against City, Salah if still injured. Of course, we should know whether he takes part at all during the midweek game. And of course, one of my Spurs lads have to go if I'm going to get Kane. Hits, however, may depend on how I end up at the end of this game week. Very much depends on how much of a buffer I feel I have and whether I feel it's worth the risk. I didn't expect myself to be sitting this high at this point, so it's very much whether to see if I can go for it and have a bit of fun in the final game week of the season, which I usually try and do, or whether I'm happy with my rank. But you guys know me, I love a bit of bat shizzle, so anything can happen. As always, let me know what you do with this team in the comments below. Do you think I desperately need Kane and KDB, or should I be looking at your likes of Vardy's or Havertz's instead? What's your thoughts? Of course, I will update you with how I'm doing and my thoughts on my social media, so make sure you are following me there. Captaincy is on Son currently. It could be on Kane if I get him, of course. Both of those are great options, but a golden boot chasing Sonny against Norwich could definitely be a shout. However, as I say, Kane a very interesting pick also. The trending transfers this week are much as you expected. De Bruyne and Son being the top players coming in. Loving that Bowen shout. Might give him a bit of consideration myself for the final game week. Of course, not surprising to see Kane there. And Luis Diaz. Obviously, potentially a stand-in for Salah, but of course, I'd wait and see what happens midweek before going all in on him. Really like the look of him also as a potential option for my team this week. Salah, of course, making his way out because of injury, and his price allows for an awful lot of change and movement in your team. So I think as soon as people saw that there was even a hint of a chance at Salah being injured, they jumped ship. Be interested to see if he gets any minutes midweek. Dennis, of course, has been injured, so easy transfer out. Van Dijk also in that somewhat injured category along with Salah. Coutinho, interestingly enough, still got another game to go this week. People not hanging around to find out if he does well in that before jumping ship. And lastly, Havertz. I think that injury has put a lot of people off, and it's allowed for other players to come into the fold, but I wouldn't necessarily write him off in the last game week if he is fit. But that is the caveat. he needs to be fit. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. I can't believe it. We're finally at the final game week of the season. Thank you so much for supporting me. It means so much, more than you guys will ever know, actually. If you want to continue supporting the channel for more helpful tips and tricks and entertainment next season, then please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy it. There's not long left now. Whatever happens, try and see the positive side of it. You've come through 38 game weeks of the season, highs and lows, good times and bad times, and we've done all of that together. So just enjoy the couple of days that we have left now before we start all over again next season. But for now, please check out the sponsors of this video, Fantasy Football Fix. Until next time, guys, Nymfria out.